Good morning, everyone. Dato, honorable speakers, and all participants. On behalf of Tzu Foundation, I'd like to thank the organization committee for giving us this opportunity to share on our experience in the mobilization of our volunteers. I have been a Tzu volunteer for 15 years since 2006. I am semi-retired as a practicing quantity surveyor, and my name is Brother Lu. I believe among here to this afternoon, there could be some who may have not heard of us. So I will take this opportunity to briefly introduce our background, the Tzu Foundation, uh, who we are. Tzu, Tzuchi, what it meant is compassion and kindness. Actually, in Malaysia, sometime it was misunderstood. Suci, yeah. So it's a good uh, spelling. Apa tu? To understand, we are actually doing the humanitarian work, charity work, compassion work. This foundation is a faith-based. When I say faith, FAITH, based foundation, a non-profit humanitarian and charity organization. And it is also because when the faith-based, it is also a spiritual cultivation organization. But I will go through that part of it about the spiritual part cultivation. Uh, this foundation was founded in 1966 by the Buddhist Dharma Master, Master Chen Yen in Taiwan. For the provincial organization, starting with 30 housewives a day, donating Malaysian 5 cents a day to do charity work. Today, 55 years later, we are in 70 countries in the world, and we have been helping out more than 115 countries worldwide in 5 continents, including in developed countries like America, in Europe. We are everywhere to do our humanitarian organization. In Malaysia, it was started in 1993. Today, we are 27 years old. We actually have 3 million members in East and West Malaysia. And by the way, globally, we have 12 million members and volunteers in 5 continents. So this is how we are now actually that's international NGO. Okay, what is our mission? Our mission is very simple. It's just to purify mind, harmonize society, free the world from disaster and suffering. So what we are doing actually is to doing a humanitarian work where there is problem, where there is trouble, where there is disaster, we will go there to help when we ask for, yeah? So our founder believed that the suffering in this world is caused by material deprivation and spiritual poverty. She felt that lack of love for others has been the root of many problems in this world. So to minimize the differences and all this, we have to transform from our own self in whatever way, whatever faith we are, not necessary to be in this organization, which is in a way Buddhist organization. So these are the 8 missions that we are doing globally. We do charity, which is our core mission, medicine. We do medical. We run 7 hospitals, and we have more than 4,000 beds. It's all in Taiwan. And we have medical team called TIMA, Tzu International Medical Association, comprises of more than 5,000 medical people spreading all over the world. So anytime disaster happen, we call on these people, depends on where they are, whether nearer home here in Africa, in Middle East, in America, they will be the team that we mobilize. We do education. We run, it's a host of education from primary school to the university to the postgraduate. We train our own doctors. And in Malaysia, we have kindergarten, and we also just started an international school in Bukit Jalil that can take in 3,500 students. And we do humanistic culture. We publish books, articles, and we run our own satellite TV that can be received all over the world. And international relief, well, anywhere there's a relief, anywhere in the world, we will respond if asked for. And of course, we have bone marrow donation. This has only happened in our hospital in Taiwan, but in fact, it is the biggest registry of the Chinese donors in the world. Environmental protection and also community volunteerism. So these are the mission where our volunteers are involved in, which is external action, which is related to today's sharing. And sorry, this is where our headquarters is in Kapong. We welcome you to come to visit us because today I was only given 15 minutes to share on this, and I think I can only share on the skin deep of what we are doing. But please come to our center in Kapong so that we can share more in depth with you who we are, what we are, and all our missions. So how do we motivate volunteers? As we say just now, this organization is a humanitarian organization. It is a charity organization. It's a spiritual organization, which means that there are many people who come to join church with different reasons. Some like to do humanitarian works. Some like to do charity works. Some come in for spiritual cultivation. So they are all from different groups. And the other interesting thing is how to motivate them, as what Dato said just now, that volunteers come to perform their so-called the tasks. They don't get paid. But in Tzu we don't not only get paid, we have to pay our own for our lodging, our traveling, and wherever we go, food, we pay all from our own pocket, and these costs are not reimbursable. For example, when I go to Myanmar, I go to Vietnam, all these are my costs. I cannot claim one single cent. So with that, can you imagine, even to recruit members, don't talk about how to motivate them when they have to pay everything on their own, is something, there must be a formula. How are we able to motivate them and to have in Malaysia close to 3 million members, which is something I will share with you. In fact, a professor in Harvard School of Business, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's Professor Herman Leonard, say this, commented that. He say, Walmart, the biggest departmental store in America, pay their 1 million employee to run their business. Sergi have 11 million, 12 million members in 75 countries, and they have to pay for their own in all the activities to carry out Sergi's activities. It doesn't make sense, isn't it? But what motivates them? What made them think? Okay, this is something which is it become a virtually case study for several university business school to look into how we motivate. Actually, it's very simple. We manage The secret is the foundation doesn't use material or monetary reward. We use what we call precept, and we use what we call love. We use precept to organize, love to manage. This is very deep to go into it. How to use a precept, how to use a love, and what is precept to organize, and what is love to manage. Actually, roughly what we say is that the precept actually is what do and don't, which in many other faiths, I believe in Islam, in Christianity, you have, thou shalt not do this, do that, do this, do that. Yeah, we have that also. So that the purpose of that is to make a good person a better person, so that he have proper conduct and proper mindset. And that is also to protect them. And if I were to share one of the few precepts which go beyond spiritual or personal, spiritual thing is, we cannot participate in politics. We cannot go to street demonstration. We got to comply to traffic bylaw. No drugs, no killing, that's standard. No gambling. So these are the things that discipline our volunteers who want to come in and do charity work at the same time to enhance their personal and cultivation. Okay, over and above that, church is adopting what we call the value and faith as a key concept to motivate the volunteers, irrespective of their backgrounds and reason of joining church. Value and faith. Value is, we mean the value of life, understanding the meaning of life. So by participating in the mission, they are able to see their value. I'll come to that later. And the other thing is enhance the faith through personal cultivation. And I will share with you later on that. When these volunteers come into this organization with love and precept, and they will respect each other, not only themselves and each other, and in the spirit of harmony and mutual love, they will manage themselves and motivate themselves. Actually, there is no secret. We don't really use efficiency to manage to see the KPI and whatnot. It's through the love and caring that we motivate them. And most importantly is we walk the talk. The master walked the talk. For 55 years, he has been hands-on to, as a role model, practicing what we call the great love, preaching compassion, mutual respect, equality to all living beings, to motivate the volunteers. So what is this great love? This is not religious. This actually is a universal love that practiced by everyone, an unconditional love. So the practice that, and this love, great love, transcends race, religion, and nationality. I will share with you now, this is Dr. Zazali, one of our Muslim commissioner. The wife is associate professor in the medical faculty in one of the university. I will play why, what make him take in this organization. Yeah.
Sewaktu saya dan isteri saya bersama beberapa rakan alumni sekolah menengah saya, kami telah pergi ke Bandar Termeloh yang pada ketika itu baru lepas kena banjir besar Disember 2014. Dan di situ saya dapati ada segolongan lelaki dan perempuan yang berpakaian baju T berwarna biru dan seluar putih sedang sibuk, sedang tekun membersihkan surau tersebut. Saya agak ragu-ragu bertanya, mungkin mereka ini daripada luar negeri saya rasa. Dan bila saya tanya kepada mereka, daripada mereka, jawapan yang saya dapati adalah kami daripada sushi. Oh, sushi dari orang Jepun lah, saya rasa. Tapi rupanya bila kami terus berbual, kami dapati bahawa pertubuhan Suci sebenarnya adalah daripada Malaysia. Pesat Kambodia adalah tempat pertama yang saya mengadakan misi perubatan saya. Kami merawat ketika itu dalam 3,000 orang pesakit dalam masa 2 hari. Apa yang kita buat di sana adalah banyak rawatan yang kita boleh berikan kepada pesakit-pesakit kita. Daripada rawatan perubatan, rawatan pergigian, rawatan hidung tekak dan telinga, rawatan kulit dan sebagainya. Disebabkan oleh kemiskinan tadi, bahagian bab kebersihan tidak dijaga dengan betul. Bila kita tanya kenapa kuku mereka panjang, jawapan mereka mudah saja. Dia tidak ada pengetip kuku untuk memotong kuku. Jadi saya tanya, macam mana you all potong kuku? Kami gigit kuku-kuku tadi. Satu tempat lagi yang saya pergi adalah di Istanbul, Turki. Di Istanbul, apa yang kami buat adalah untuk membantu pelarian Syria di sana. Saya sebenarnya kagum dengan seorang ahli suci yang bernama Brother Faisal. Brother Faisal ni sebenarnya seorang Cina daripada Taiwan. Dia telah memeluk agama Islam. Tapi telah sepenuh masa bekerja di situ, menolong beratus ribu orang Syria, membantu mereka untuk memperbaiki taraf hidup mereka. Ada satu soalan yang sering ditanya kepada saya. Zahid, kenapa kamu menyertai SECI? SECI satu NGO Buddha. Kamu seorang Islam yang practicing. Kenapa kamu join SECI? Jawapan saya yang mudah adalah kenapa tidak? Di Kambodia, kami menolong mangsa-mangsa daripada agama Buddha. Di Filipina, kami menolong mangsa-mangsa daripada Kristian. Di Jakarta dan di Istanbul, mangsa-mangsanya kebanyakannya adalah orang-orang Islam. Bagi SECI tidak ada perbezaan. Manusia sekarang sebenarnya kadang-kadang lebih cerita pada perbezaan. Saya lebih suka bercerita tentang kesamaan yang ada. Dan ini akan membawa kita terus ke depan.
That is one of the volunteers, how he was motivated. That's why we walk the talk. We don't talk only, and then at the back, we don't do what we talk. So in SECI, we are colorblind. We have been building churches all over the world. We are helping out to build surau, to build mosques in Indonesia, in every country where there are people professing different faith. So one of our strengths is we do for humanitarian work only. We are colorblind. Whenever people need help, we will go. We don't say, oh, this is a communist country. No, this is a Muslim country. No, this is a Christian country. Where people need help, we go. We go on our own cost. Dr. Zazali, he traveled, he paid everything on his own. So it's not easy when how you motivate the people to part with their time, their money, and the cost, because it was the right cause. What is right? We just train just to do it. And the other thing that we were teaching people is that by going into this mission, you see suffering. You see people who are ill, victim of suffering, and we are able to help them. By helping them, we realize that how fortunate we are, how lucky we are. So with that kind of self-satisfaction, we realize that we have to be contented. And when we are contented, we are grateful, we become more happy. And being happy, we are happy, we will do more to help other people. And one thing that SECI is teaching to the volunteers is that you don't only help. When you help, you expect nothing in return. At the same time, you must say, we use the word grateful, kanan or in terima kasih or whatever in local term, to the recipients, which a lot of us don't understand. I pay for my trip, I pay for my everything, I go there, I give, I help, and I still got to say thank you to you. And I have to bow lower than you. What is this teaching? So you can see now through the right teaching, through faith, the reason being that, just I say just now, ultimately, by helping all these people, we are contented, we are happy, we gain happiness, we are more blissful. Without these people, we don't get that. And therefore, we have to be grateful to them to give us understand what life's all about. So that is a true teaching of this organization. So initially, a lot of people worried, oh, this is a Buddhist organization. They are not to come in and all this. But after understanding that it is humanitarian charity organization that is transcend race, religion, and nationality, that we have members all over the world. In Africa, we have Zulu who are Protestant, who can't speak a word of English. We got about 10,000 members there, you know. So what we are trying to say is that we are taught the right thing about charity work to help other people. So there's no magic about how you motivate. It's the sincerity, that honesty, that we provide service anywhere in the world. And for our own member, they actually, most of the member, well, we are all human beings anyway, so they want to be also be respected and want to be appreciated. So that's why we accord them with the uh, gratitude, we award them with respect and love, and we treat everyone equal. And one thing that we do, which is very important in our activities, that we place the safety and security of our volunteer as a priority. Any disasters, any distribution of food, if the situation doesn't, it's not safe, when things turn rowdy, when our volunteers' safety is going to be compromised, we call off all our activities and we pull out. And we also have certain SOP to practice, whereby the honesty that this organization is doing is that whatever collection we collected, food we collected, we have to go personally to the place where the disaster happened to hand it personally to the victim. We don't go through their government. We don't go through intermediaries. So people can trust us that $1 collected, $1 will become $2 when we hand it over to the victim, because our time and cost are not accounted. So that's the reason why people trust us, and the trust is one of the motivating factor that we motivate our members. So now, after that, what we are actually teaching the members also about the universal truth. This is not Buddhism, not religion. What's the truth all about? Actually, we are talking about the law of cause and effect. Just like what Christians say, he who reap what he sow. I believe Islam say the same thing. You do good deed, you'll be rewarded with good consequence. So what is right? You just say what is good, just do it. Just do it. Don't expect anything in return. How, end of the day, how will you be rewarded? That is a separate thing. And the other thing is we tell them that in the whole universe, things are in constant change, that nothing is permanent. Time is limited. These few issues, those who contemplate, who think, realize that, yes, time change every minute. Our health, birth, living, aging, and death is a process. If we know that, we will seize the opportunity to serve, to make our life meaningful, rather than spending our time watching television 24 hours a day and wait for the time to come. That's for aging people. They want to do something meaningful. So knowing all this, they will make a decision. Should I go out to help, to make my life happier, to contribute, to make value to our life? This is another area that we motivate people of different ages, including the senior citizens that we have out. And not only that, we have regular progression training. We ensure that the volunteers understand the fundamental of our philosophy and the practice. For example, like Dr. Zazali, he is now a commissioner, meaning he have gone through actually 2 years of progression training. It's not that we just don't recruit volunteers, we have to train them to understand the philosophy about the life so that they know they are serving, he is a practicing Muslim. End of the day, he know what his duty is as a good Muslim. And we have Christian who know what they are supposed to do and the day when it comes. So we give them training for 2 years to understand about the truth. And we have regular monthly fellowship to foster closer fraternity amongst the member and to know what's happening the latest, like for example, COVID-19. I will share with you afterwards what we have been doing. And also that, now, okay, I'll cut short, the time is very limited. I can't go into detail. COVID-19, everything is controlled. So what do we do? This is what we are doing actually.
Mobilized manpower to distribute daily supplies to the evacuees under quarantine, giving them peace of mind. The severe pandemic posed a public health crisis. Tzu Chi KL and Selangor proactively backed the government and medical personnel. Faced with the invisible virus, a professional team is essential to support the front. Started on March 18. Tzu Chi volunteers began to make face shields, clean up hospital wards, and produce isolation gowns. As at June 3rd, Tzu Chi had supported 142 hospitals and 1,404 clinics. The frontline workers are among Tzu Chi's top priority, while protective equipments are crucial to support the medical system. And multi-purpose foldable beds to the homeless shelter. To support the police and military personnel in their MCO operations, Tzu Chi sent face shields, masks, sanitizers, and other protective equipments to police stations and army camps.
Dalam tempoh PKP ini tidak beroperasi.
With a significant increase in the number of inmates, Tzu Chi donated 5,000 mattresses and 10,000 masks to the prison guards and inmates. HCR, Tzu Chi provided cash aid to refugees across Malaysia. Tzu Chi also started hotlines, while volunteers paid visits to needy families, not leaving out. In Valley to the stateless communities in East Malaysia, Tzu Chi distributed daily necessities and shopping vouchers to alleviate their suffering and warm their hearts. Wherever there's a need, Tzu Chi will.
So I'm glad that Tzu Chi came, approached me, because we have to help them, irrespective whether they're citizens or not.
Bukan cuma terima kasih saya makan dengan cuma bagi saya terima kasih, thank you very much.
Sekarang saya sudah tak ada kerja, makan pun susah. Lepas itu saya punya sewan, bayar macam mana, duduk macam mana pun saya tak boleh fikir. So hari ini macam satu kali kasih saya, thank you lah, thank you.
Terima kasih ya banyak-banyak.
Mudah-mudahan itu Allah mencipta dunia kasih ini NGO terbaik di Malaysia. Ya, terima kasih to NGO.
So this is what we were doing. Actually, they are still ongoing. We have actually, with this, we found many families who suffers. We continue to help them. Like government, we give them financial support to, at the moment, I think close to about 2,000 to 3,000 families, financial support. Guide them through all this period, yeah?
Can we wrap up in 1 minute?
1 minute, okay, a very quick one.
Okay, thank you.
This very quick one, I'll show you one very quick because for this more for senior citizens.
There are 5 seniors whose average age is nearly 80 years old. During recycling in Klang, Malaysia every day, they decided to help in the recycling station together. They even finished training and received their recycling volunteer certification, dedication their golden years to serve the community.
Enriching their life after retirement.
Before I came here, I usually stayed at home doing nothing or watch TV every day. I told my daughter that I wanted to join Tzu Chi to do recycling. I told her that this was a kind of filial piety if she allowed me to do what I wanted.
Now my grandchildren are grown up, so that I do not need to stay at home to take care of them. I can help a lot here, like sorting papers or CDs, or sometimes I will help preparing meals in.
There are 5.
I want to share with this one. At 100, I still volunteer by this sister Chai Kwan. She said this, our bodily function decline with age. Before lose all those functions, I want to live as a full and meaningful as I can. So I don't have any regret. For me, every second that I live is another second that I gain. So now let's look at this one. She is 100 years old of 2019. She retired as a midwife and joined surgery at the age of 70. When we interviewed her in 2019, she was 100 years old. And how do we do this to encourage old people? Is that one, the master come up with this idea of age bank. What is this age bank? That's to encourage the aged people to let them know that age is just a number. So what we do is that if I am 90 years old, I take out 50 years of my life and deposit in the bank. So I live as if I'm 40 years old. So if I'm 80 years old, I deposit 50 years of my life, I'm only 30 years old. So it's just a mind, it's a mentality, how old you are. And this lady is 100 years old in 2019. And she's still alive and kicking. That is this lady. Okay? So what I want to encourage people is that don't worry about the age. She go around and help other people. And the age of 93, she still learn how to use iPad because we communicate with all these things to all our members all the world. So this is my sharing that today. And I hope that we have more time in future to share with you who we are and what we are so that we can learn from each other. Once again, thank you very much to the organizing committee for allowing us today to share with you. Thank you. Terima kasih.